Today we're talking about UiPath API Workflows, and here's the key point. There's no robot involved. These API workflows run on the UiPath infrastructure, meaning no UI automation, no desktop, just running in the UiPath backend. These workflows run serverless in the cloud on the UiPath infrastructure. No desktop, no UI flows, just clean API calls in the backend. That's why API workflows are great when we need no UI automation, high volume system-to-system integration, and advanced API orchestration. This video is sponsored by UiPath. Thank you, UiPath, for making this possible. Let's get started. Let me show you how easy it is to set up an API workflow. You go to cloud.uipath.com. Today we will set up a simple API workflow that extracts the oil price from an API once a day. You go to Studio, either here or you click the 9 dots and choose Studio. This will open up the UiPath Studio in the cloud. Go up to the right and say Create New. Here you want to pick the API workflow. That will create a new API workflow. First of all, we can rename the solution, so it's not named solution. Let's call this one oil prices solution and hit enter. We can also see that the workflow is called API workflow. Let's right click on that and say rename. Here I will just call this one oil prices and hit enter. Then over here we can see that this is the sequence. Right now the workflow just starts manually. Later on we will of course be using the time trigger. If you click the plus here, that will add an activity. First of all, we have the connector category. This is predefined connectors from UiPath. For example, if I want to automate bugs, the Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Microsoft, everything is almost here PayPal, Pipedrive, so SAP. If I want to use some of these, I just go there. I can also hit the plus again. I can also use an HTTP. That is an API call to a system. So whereas the connector is created by UiPath in the HTTP, we created ourselves. We will do that a little bit later. We can also write a JavaScript if we want to go a little bit more advanced. We have some logic, if for conditions, loop if something is need to be performed several times. In the more we have an assign, we have try catch, that is error handling, and we have a wait. Finally, we have a response. This can be used to send out values from the API workflow. So what we will do here is to use an HTTP. This will retrieve the oil price. Let's start by renaming the action. I click the 9 dots here and say rename. I prefer not to delete the HTTP request name, and that is, when I hit enter here, it will be much easier to maintain this flow if I keep this name and then just have the oil price afterwards. Over to the right, we can see that we have some parameters that we need to fill in. We will especially be using the endpoint, that is, which service do we want to call. So here we need to find an external service to give us the oil prices. I've set up an account at the RapidAPI.com. This is free in a limited use, so you can go there and create an account. Then we go to the hub, that is the API hub here. Then we go up to search APIs. Up here we want to search for the crude oil prices API. So here we can see it. We will take this second one here. Up here we can see we have an API key. We will use that to authenticate ourselves. We can also see over here that we have a URL and 2 headers. In fact, the API key is also in the header. We can test it. So what comes back when we call this URL with these two headers? You do that by going up here to test endpoint. And that is the key to these APIs. This is oil prices, but it could also be an internal system, a CRM system that you want to integrate to. There is some documentation that you need to read and understand. Don't worry, in this video, we will do everything together. So here we can see that we have 133 prices. We will just use the first one today, that is index 0. That is because it's 0 index. So the first item in this array is VTI crude at the price of 65.6. But if you needed, for example, gasoline, you will go with index 4. That is the fifth item. Now we are ready to use these URLs and headers. So I will take this URL here. I will mark it. Then I will say Control-C to copy it. We go back to UiPath Studio. We will use manual authentication. We will do that in the header in a little while. The method that is get, we are getting some data. You can usually also find the method in the API documentation. Then you click the URL. You say Control-V, make sure you paste this URL. We copied it from the RapidAPI. Then in the headers, if I click open here, we can define the headers. That is key value pairs. And we have exactly that. If I click add here, the key, if I go back here, that is just this. It's that easy to configure. So I copy this, go back to Studio, Control-V, then we have a value. The value is just this crude oil prices API. Control-C, make sure you only copy what I do here, so you don't copy the single quotation mark, for example. That is the first key value pair in the header. Then you click add. Then we also need X RapidAPI key. Control-C to copy it, Control-V to paste it in here, and we also have a value there. Copy that, make sure you pick everything. Go back and say Control-V. That is the basic flow. This just let us call this oil price, and we have to do it manually. Not where we want to end, but it's a great start. To test the workflow, you will click Debug up here. Then you will see that the workflow starts. That is a success, and the HTTP request is also a success. If I go over to the right, to the output panel, you will find that, if it's not open, you will find that here in the open run output. If I go down here, I can see that inside the output, in the content, in the prices here, then I can see that we have all these items here. I can just open the first one. That was exactly what we wanted to get out. So we will work with the first item today, but you could work with several items. That is very similar, this response, to the response over in the RapidAPI. We also want to send this out. Right now, this output is not in a so nice format. So what we will do here is to go over to the left to the data manager. Now we want to create an output. That is, so when we call this API workflow from, for example, the UiPath Orchestrator, where we want to schedule it, then we want to send out the value that will be the price. Today, right now, it's 65.64. So in the outputs, if you hover your mouse over, you can hit plus, add a property. Right now, it's called property 1. Let's hit this pencil and edit the name. We will call it price. Like this. You can again just hit enter. The type is string. That is a bit weird because when we look at it, it looks like a number over here. But if you see these double quotation marks here in this output, that indicates that this is a string. We can also give it a description. This is the price of ETI crude oil. We can also see that we have an orange dot here. That indicates that something might be wrong. If I click that, here we can see there's an output definition, but no corresponding response activity has been added. That is, we have created an output property here, but we are not using that. So nothing is getting sent out here. What we will do is that we want to extract this result. So I click the plus, I say response, and then you will see that the issue disappears. Now that we added the response, we can go over to the right, click in this response and expand it here. So right now we have a key value pair. That is the response. And here we can see that the price is the key. That was the property that we created as an output. We also see that we have a dummy variable here. What you want is to delete this. We want to send the exact price out. So you hit the insert variable. If you remember, we had the value here in the HTTP request in the content. Click that. In the prices, and here we have the price. We have 133 prices. Right now it picked the first, that is the index 0. So what you do here is to hit save, then we can test it again. Go up to debug. Now you will see that this is a success, this is a success, and the response is a success. So over here you can see that we're able to extract the price here. We can even try to change it. For example, if I go over here to the crude oil prices, in the results, you could, for example, see that the index 4 was the gasoline with another price. So if we go back here and in the responses, you can again click over here and expand it. Then we can change 0 to, for example, 4 and hit save. Now we can debug it again. Then you will see that we get another success, and now we have the price of gasoline over here to the right. It's that easy. But since we're going to have the first item, we will click the response again. We will click over here. You can actually also edit it directly here. I just find it a little bit more easy to do in the expanded editor. You can also see here that now this changes. If I, for example, say 2, you will see that the preview comes out here. We will go with index 0. Now we can set up a daily run. Right now we have to do it manually. That is not what we want. So now you hit publish here. Just go with whatever it says here. We can see that this is the first version. You can publish it either to a personal workspace or the Orchestrator tenant. Right now I go with my personal workspace and I hit publish. Then you will see that the solution publish started. You will be notified once it's complete, and then we get a solution package created and deployed. What you do now is to click the 9 dots here. Now we will use it in the UiPath Orchestrator. You could also use it in, for example, an agent with Maestro. We will do that in the next video. So here we have the Orchestrator. Go to automations. Then over to the right, we hit add process. Now you will find the package here. So I scroll a little bit down and I should see the oil prices solution. Go click that. Then you hit next. We hit next. We can give it a name. I will just call this one oil prices here. And we hit create. Now we can add the trigger. So this added the process to the folder. We add a trigger here. And we say we want a time trigger since it's going to run one time daily. So I will say daily oil prices like this. Over here in the frequency, it should not run every minute. It should run one time a day, and I can even specify at what time if I want to change this. This is fine. I just hit add. Then we can see that this trigger was successfully set up. We're not going to add more, so I just hit cancel here to go out. Then we want to go to triggers. Here we can see that the daily oil prices is going to run in 15 hours. That makes sense. I can go over here to the right and say start job now. This is just to manually execute it. This is what's going to happen once it's executed. Then we see it up here, it's successful. And if I hit this information over here, we now have the runtime details. And up here in the output, you will see that this extracted the price. In the next video, which you're going to see here, we will go even more advanced. We want to combine it with the UiPath Maestro to orchestrate it even better. See you there.